New routes are popping up at the Charleston International Airport, making it easier for travelers to get to a variety of popular destinations. We're joined by Elliott Summey, Executive Director and CEO of Charleston International. It's great to have you.
Thank you.
What I have to say is, better late than never. When I moved here 6.5 years ago, boy, I could have used some of those direct flights that you've got going on now. But you've grown exponentially in just a very short period of time.
Yeah, it's been a really amazing ride the last 18 months to 2 years. Even with COVID, we continued to grow from a route standpoint. Obviously, we didn't have as many passengers during COVID, but the amount of cities we added has been the largest 2-year growth, 18-month growth than any airport in the history of South Carolina. Yeah. We've added over 21 direct destinations, which is a huge deal from not only a quality of life standpoint, but from an economic development standpoint for our community, for the whole low country of South Carolina.
Well, I mean, let's face it, we're seeing a lot of license plates that are coming from the West Coast that are here now. So you can only imagine there's a lot of travel from the West Coast. So a lot of these direct flights, they're not just up and down the Eastern Seaboard or to the Midwest. They're going all the way out west.
Sure, certainly, for years and years, and you go back to 1985 when the terminal was built, we were really a feeder into Atlanta and Charlotte to the hubs for Delta and American. Added eventually DC, and then around 2010, when Southwest came on board, started going to Chicago and Nashville for us, right around the time Boeing started coming, which their home office is in Chicago. We started seeing a turn from Charleston being more of a driving destination to a flying destination. And so yes, we're seeing, we're direct to LAX, only airport in South Carolina does that. We're direct to Seattle. We're getting ready to be direct to San Francisco in a couple weeks, Las Vegas. So it is an exciting time, and we're able to connect folks that would like to travel here, but also our folks to go places and make it easier for them to enjoy taking their families places.
Let's talk about numbers, because you do project to see an increase of about 10% in travelers in and out of your airport. Where are we right now?
So today we're on pace to do about 5 million passengers, 5.1 million passengers through CHS this year.
This year, okay.
Yeah, which is a record year for us. We're the busiest airport in South Carolina. And so that's a really big deal for us. We're going to see, but from today, this week to Labor Day week, we're actually going to see somewhere between a 10 and 12% growth in flights. Not only are they adding flights, they're adding bigger planes, which creates an exponential growth in passengers.
Can Charleston International hold all of that many people, I should say?
We can. So obviously, much more than that, we're going to have to start going and do some construction, but we've changed the way we operate the airport. So on June 8th, we're going to go live with what we call common use. And so we're switching the model of the way the airport is operated from an exclusive gate to common use. So airlines will have priority use on certain gates depending on how many times they turn the gate. But those other gates, when they're free, we're able to deplane other airlines there. So that's why you're seeing us go from 8 or 9 airlines to 13 and 14 airlines this summer, because we're being able to take those gates and do the most with what we have. It's frustrating. I know it's frustrating for folks when they sit on an apron and they see an empty gate, but they can't go to it because it's that airline's gate. That's going away.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. So you're also increasing efficiency as well.
We are.
Of course, with pre-check, and then what's Charleston Reserve?
Right. So in order to help get folks through TSA quicker, I would argue our TSA folks are as friendly as any of them in the country. But we're starting a program called CHS Reserve, so that when you get your boarding pass, you can actually go on our website, you can click the link that's going to come from the airline, and you can reserve your time spot to go through TSA. So, of course, we're encouraging people this summer, as it's busy, to do the 3-2-1, but reserve your time spot. So that if you got to drop that rental car off or check a bag, hey, I got a 3 o'clock flight, I'm going to reserve a 2:40, a 2:15 time slot to go through TSA.
You give a new meaning to flying the friendly skies.
Yes,
so you're opening 3 new terminals this year,
with
right?
three new gates this year.
Excuse me, 3 new gates, but you are planning on expansion physically. Very exciting stuff.
It's
and
really
that means jobs as well.
Absolutely, more jobs and more economic development. We're flying places like Detroit, Milwaukee, where our business folks who are suppliers to Daimler and Boeing can now fly there and have the potential for new customers.
Fantastic.
So we're just trying to be an incubator for quality of life.
Sir, thank you so much.
Awesome.
We're back after this.